Hi, I just want to talk for a second about me, South Park, and AIDS. See, AIDS is my joke. I was 13, I was in a condo, and I was, you know, talking with someone, and I was like, we had this long discussion, and like he was upset. Everyone thought he was gay. Talking about, you know what? I bet Jared didn't really lose all that weight from sandwiches. I bet he just got AIDS. He's like, you can't lose weight from AIDS. And I was like, I bet you can. Bet you can totally lose weight from AIDS. It gets you all these weird diseases and stuff. And I don't know. I don't know anything about AIDS. It's just like, I don't even care about AIDS. I care about epilepsy because I started having seizures in seventh grade. Um, Nobody knows why. It might have been caused by my period. Nobody knows. They did a bunch of MRIs and EEGs and stuff, and put me on a bunch of pills and changed medications a lot, and it's been really hard. And I'm sure AIDS is very hard too. But but uh, but it became a fun weight loss method and that was really funny that I actually stood up for people with AIDS instead of just ridiculing people and being mean. and, and so I'm kind of proud of that. Although it does ridicule fat people, but you know what? The entire show ridicules fat people. Um, as and and it should, that has Cartman. He has three chins, not two. You have a very stubborn jaw. So but like when you have a dimple and and a chin and like two bulbous things here and you're a little bit fat and have a double chin, a little bit. It's like you have like 50 chins or something. It's amazing. And maybe you don't believe this about this man coming and then fucking me in a condo when I was 13. Um, Maybe it's why Jared was arrested, or I, maybe someone pocketed like $10,000. I don't know who did. Person who coerced me into the condo. I don't know. You shouldn't always trust friends you meet at school, I guess, who invite you to come play at a condo. That happened to me when I was 8 too. Come play at my condo. Hmm. Meet my morally questionable friend who's going to start talking about Jeffrey Dahmer and how ketchup being blood is funny. He might touch your twat a little bit. I don't know if he will. uh, you, I mean, Macaulay Culkin was just put in jail for a joint, wasn't he? Was he like suspected of killing Jeffrey Dahmer in prison for a while, or what? Why is this such a big fascination that there has to be Cannibal the musical? So yeah, and President Trump, for me, the most important thing for me is legalizing cannabis, and that I think is why uh, President Trump has a really small penis because it's like you know he can because he can rape 13-year-old girls, like like he does it, and then you ask him why he didn't. He's like I can do it because I'm rich. There are videos, they're like, oh, he said that he should be glad some pimpy teenager didn't say, yeah, I mean, like, having sex with someone with experience does, uh, at 13, I mean, it does feel pretty good, I suppose. Hurts more than you'd think than it should. I didn't tell anybody at the time that happened, but might have had something to do with Subway, it might have had something to do with AIDS. This blonde guy might have been just some prick. Um, he might not have been Randy specifically. I don't know. But, and it happened when I was 19 too, like it was like, and, and, because, um, because you know, the, the joke about heavy metal being boobs was my joke. I did that, so I'm not as unsuccessful as you might think, even though I'm living off of Social Security right now. I have banged the most famous man in the world with the greatest cartoon. It succeeded my lifelong dream of being a cartoonist. Um, at least for, but and that time someone stole in California, stole, like, they abducted me and and took my eggs for in vitro fertilization. So who did that? Are they going to be? I want. I don't even. It's crazy because you know I kind of like I like to smoke pot. I don't want to be arrested for it, like, and I'm just because it's not immoral, it's not wrong, it's just and it was actually made illegal as an anticonvulsant, so it's a crime against the handicapped. You know, I don't care about a lot of laws, you know, and you know, like laws against older men having sex with younger women. I don't care. I don't really care about really. You can think about it, you can argue about it. You know, the man is going to be is selfish. You know, he's and greedy, and you know, the woman might not want him. You know, but because Trump is rich, you know, she might like want his power. You know, because you know, Trey Parker is creative. You know, and a genius. You know, she might want his you know, his intelligence, you know, his power, and his power of having the cartoon to you know, to put forth, you know, you know, her messages or something, you know, like because you know, I think that cartoons, you know, should I think that a great cartoon should be political satire, and I've always loved political satire in literature. You know, I think I'm influenced most by George Orwell that way. You know, I think he's really he's really smart, like 1984, and you know, so I read that, you know, growing up, and read pretty much like every one of his books. Um, and so yeah, I think the Casa Bonita movie was really weird and creepy. I was like, I don't think that I don't think that places like that like are I think places like that are so creepy. Like I just think, and those cliff divers are probably smuggling illegal aliens or something. But and they probably look this over because politicians like to smoke weed, and they like to have sex with 13-year-old girls, and they like to they like to get away with it because of their position of power. And it's like if they like to do these, and it's like to if you like to do that, why don't you just legalize weed, you know? And their excuse is that not everyone wants to. No, everyone wants to, because you know, weed is a farm product that is, you know, you don't have to buy it, you know. But if you're but if you want to get high, you don't want your kid to get murdered by a campus policeman, you know, for something that will not ruin their life, you know. You know, I mean, a lot of people, when they say, "Oh, it makes you smarter," you know, because you know, some people will be like, "It's a memory loss drug," but it's not a memory loss drug. Actually, ironically, my seizures are so bad they happen at grandma's every month, and they started, you know, when in the seventh grade, and I've had a few times where I've actually experienced complete amnesia, but it went away when I had more access to medical cannabis and the these times, because the seizures did get better, and for the first time, because like I've taken pills, I've taken lots of different pills, and the pharmaceutical companies, they were like given as a replacement for cannabis, because cannabis was made illegal as an anticonvulsant in 1937. So to keep saying, I think it's like alcohol, that's the ridiculous words of an alcoholic. Like, you can't just say it's like alcohol. You you know the federal government has too much power over drugs, because they shouldn't have that power. I mean, you should have you should have the truth about the drugs, and the federal government having that much power means that cannabis has been lied about because of racism, and so it's illegal as an anticonvulsant for the reason of racism. And so, uh, and this needs to be spoken about loudly, because it's a crime against the handicapped, and it's a crime against people of color. And um, and you know people aren't taking it seriously, because they have most people have fun getting high. Most people don't care about people with seizures, just like I don't care about people with AIDS. I'm just like, well, it'll make you thinner, perhaps it will make Cartman skinnier. Maybe you'll get rid of that fat ass you got drinking all that beer in that movie. What was that called? Oh yeah, Basketball. Yeah, that movie sucked. Yeah. That's the movie where he looked like Jeff Daniels a little bit. So, that's what I have to say. And I think, uh, but I think I probably, am just a little bit jealous. I probably still want to marry Randy. You know, asked me, and I was like, yes. It's so funny when you do Jimmy Stewart. I've never seen anyone more Irish and confused who thinks they're looking at a rabbit. Well, I'm very pretty, and I've not had attention by boys, so that's another thing. Despite being, oh yeah, living in Tardy Caca.